And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of All the Mons. So, last episode we did manage to get a few more people to fill out our party, and then we tried fighting a couple trainers and whatnot, and then I was confused as to how we can keep leveling up. Well, I found a solution. It was all related to the trainer card. Turns out I had no clue what I was doing with it. So when you do have one of these and you have selected which series you will be in, when you right click, it does say the series, click the check mark, and then it tells you like all the people you have gone against, and then there's going to be this weird squiggly line that's just alternating like crazy. This is how you find the next guy. So I already took out Commander Mars, so our level cap did go up to 20. And if we wanted to go higher, you click here, and then boom, that's who we need to fight, Commander Jupiter. And when we do defeat him, we will go from 20 to 22, and it looks like as long as you keep doing that, you will be able to keep increasing your level cap. And then if you click this little side arrow, it does say what biomes he will most likely spawn in. So all you have to do is go down here, and then if you see it, well, then he could spawn. And since we are really close to the arid highlands where we were last episode, all I have to do is run around in that area and I'm looking for stuff, and then that guy should spawn momentarily. One thing I did do offline was a ton more mining, so I have now acquired a ton of resources. As you can see, I now have pretty sufficient amount of redstone dust, so I will be able to make the deployers relatively easily. However, there is one thing stopping us, and that is acquiring brass. And well, if you guys don't know how to get brass, well, normal create dictates that we do need to put copper and zinc together inside a mixer that is heated by a blaze burner to get brass. However, there is a few more options. So if we click on brass dust, as you can see, we could mix some copper dust and some zinc dust, and we will get some brass, which is huge. But as you can see, you use 4 to get 4, which is okay, but I think I know a little way to get even more a little quicker, and can be also used to produce steel, since we will need that in the near future. So, if we click on the alloy kiln, as you can see, 3 copper, 1 zinc, just waiting a little bit longer, and we get 8 brass instead. So we're doubling the amount of material really quickly using this. So, all you really need to make a kiln or an alloy kiln is 8 of these blocks. So it's just a couple sandstone, a couple brick, any type of brick, and then boom, you get these blocks and you get 2 of them. So you only need to make about 4, and that's pretty easy. So if we come over here and do this, how I said, I do plan on making a few of these because I do want to make some steel from this as well. I'm gonna make quite a few, and just like that, with less than a stack of each, you can easily make 4 different kilns, just because it does require 8 per. And since we have a lot of room, I'm just going to be throwing these guys down, so it's not going to look pretty, but it's going to be functional for us. And I guess right here, since why not? So we could do a little something like this, just stack it up, and put it right next to each other. So we just go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Brother, what? Oh, these guys, love them, but you guys gotta move, man. You guys gotta move. Thank you. And then we go like this, and then we get our little hammer, and then we just right click the front face, and then boom. Come on. There we go. Looks like we gotta click that corner, and just like that, we have 4 kilns, and then we could actually begin this process. So it was 4 copper to 1 zinc. So we'll just do, let's see, we'll do 12, 12, and then we could just go 1, 2 over here, 12 you, and then I guess we'll just do a little bit like that. And then the rest of it we will save for for a rainy day, just in case. I did upgrade our little area over here, so we do have a wee bit more room. And I think we should be okay with space for now. However, we will want to get into applied energistics and into whatchamacallit, ours for some early game space, but that's gonna be in a little bit. We're not really trying to rush it, so we will ignore that for right now. But yeah, if you did want to make steel, you can actually use these guys to do that as well. If you click over here and come to the side and click on the kiln, as you can see, 1 iron, 1 coal nets you 2 steel. One of the best ways to get some early game production of steel. Super nice. And then of course, if you want to use Oritech, this is also another way to do it. And one of the reasons why we would even want this is because, I don't know about other people, but I'm thinking early game machinery, I'm gonna take a little sidestep away from mechanism and start up with Oritech, just because I think it'd be fun. I am gonna be a little unconventional with this gameplay, so let's see how much I can do with different things without defaulting to the productive bees and the what is it? Mystical agriculture. I want to see what I can do with Oritech and with immersive engineering, how far those guys can be pushed, and see what items can be automatically manufactured with those guys in comparison to just production or the bees and agriculture, just because that's like the normal way of playing it. I want to be a little different, or I want this series to be a little different, since we aren't just trying to beat it as quickly as possible. But yeah, my default power generation here is most likely going to be extreme reactors, and that's just because it's so easy. As you can see, some sand, some graphite, which is just coal that is cooked, and then iron, which we have tons of. You can easily produce some basic machinery. However, I'd rather just jump straight into the reinforced version, just because this may be a little harder, requiring way more iron. However, how I said, we have an iron farm already going, so that's going to be of no issue. The only thing is, we are going to need to give it some time to produce some steel, which, I mean, all we really need to do is focus on gathering coal, and then we should be fine. And then the other alternative is by making some biosteel, which is pretty cool, and this is done through Oritech. As you can see, an iron with some raw biopolymer will net you some biosteel. To make this polymer, it's just mixing some water with some packed wheat, which if you click on it to see its recipe, is just for wheat like that. So if we get into a little bit of immersive engineering and a little bit of Oritech early in the game, and maybe some create energy, this could be pretty fun. I don't know, I'm just trying to make it a little different, be a little resourceful, utilizing everybody. What are you? What level are you? 34. That dude's massive. But yeah, oh, one thing I forgot to mention is our Charmander was ready to evolve, so I did come over here into our little area. I believe it's, oh yeah, you just click on them, and then here you could see if they're ready to evolve, and just like Metapod was ready, I clicked on evolve with Charmander, and now we have Charmeleon. So I did look at the abilities. I did swap out Scratch for Flame Burst, and I think, I'm not sure if we still had Dragon Rage or if that's something I swapped in. However, this is now our team, which is pretty cool. Only our Sandshrew is a little underleveled compared to everybody, but I think we should be getting these guys to level 20 before we can continue. But for now, let's just grab all this stuff. Let's clear this up. Boom. Look at that. Got quite a bit of zinc, tons of brass, which is massive. Then to turn these guys into plates, we can... Oh, do we have to use the hammer? Let's see. Okay, cool. We can use this, which is going to be nice just because I do have the water wheels over there. So we can kind of gear ratio that boy to work. But in the meantime, first, I want to get a little bit of this set so that we can actually make the deployer. So I already have the andesite casing needed. I have to make the brass hands, so we will use the hammer in a little bit. But if we come over here, we need to make some polished rose quartz, which if you just click on it, it's really easy. You can use the deployer or by hand. You can sand the rose quartz to get it polished. And then to make this guy, it's just some quartz and redstone. That's the reason why I did go mining, just so that I did have enough resources to make this, because I believe we are going to need 7 deployers total. I might be wrong with my math, but cool. So 1 stack actually fits for 7. So now you guys know. Then let's see, do I have paper already? I don't think so, but we'll grab that, and then 1 piece of sand. And then how you make this is just boom, 1, 1, and boom. Got yourself some paper. Just wanted to double check. And then we put this in our offhand, we grab this, and then we just hold right click, and then boom. After a short period of time, you'll automatically have your polished rose quartz for your deployers. And boom. And then this guy has like 1 piece remaining. We will retire you. Thank you for your service. And let's see. Only thing left to do is get these guys squared away. So if we come over here, grab these guys. Let's make sure I have my inventory set. Oh, lag. No. Okay. Oh, man. It scares me sometimes. It scares me. I don't even know why it does that. But yeah, here we can do a little something like this. So we put a large cog, and then we aim on it. Boom. It goes a little faster. This guy. Let's get the casing so we can do this. And then we put small dude. We put another one. Then we block this. We go small guy, so now it's going even faster. Then we go big boy. Block you. Small boy. And then another one. And then we're gonna go like that, and then this guy should be either spinning at max speed or pretty close to it. And then we could throw this right here, and then right underneath you we can throw, let's see, we need 7 deployers. 7 times 4 is 28. We'll just throw all 32 just in case, and then give it a little bit of room, and this will automatically start stamping it. I am not sure if this is enough water wheels to get the job done. However, I did just want to get this placed here, just because this little slit right here in the ground was naturally occurring, and I thought it would be pretty cool to put here. However, if we do need more, I guess I'll just put another few right here in this space, and then see if we can get it to work. But yeah, just like that. We have our brass plates. Besides making this, I do have an announcement, or I guess you could go over real quick. I did get some more gear to put on, so now we have actually went from Frontier to Ascent, and if we look over here, the armor did go up to 8. Now monsters have armor pierce, so they hurt. Over here we do get more XP, we have more luck, and then the percentages did shift over. As you can see, Epic before was at 1%, now is at 10. And then, as you can see, the purities also shifted. So if we do want to go to the summit, we will need to wear rare gear, but now the requirement, instead of having a rare weapon, is now to slay the Wither. So this one's going to be a little harder to unlock, but shouldn't be too hard, just because as soon as you get into Apotheosis and actually put affixes on your gear, you usually get crazy strong. And then if we look over here to reach the pinnacle, this will actually require us to slay the Ender Dragon. So that's kinda not near the near future, and is in the near future. I don't know. AlltheMods has like the crazy progression depending on how you play the game. So that's just up to you. Let's do 7. Boom. So we got our brass. If we come over here, oh, I forgot my iron. Let's grab that, just because we have so much. And then I'm pretty sure we also need 7 of these. We go like this, like that, boom, click here, shift click, and boom. Now we have our 7 deployers, we have kilns, we have rose quartz. That is tremendous. Okay, Now we kind of need to produce or make this stamped lid, which as you can see requires some sort of die, kelp, a stick, and any type of apricorn. So if we click right here, the most we have of is probably the white, so we'll grab one of you. Let's see. I know I put the kelp over here, cool. I do need one more piece. So we will do a little something like this. I know that's a waste of a log, however, I do have quite a bit of wood just because I had been growing the extra tall spruce trees and mining them. So yeah, we have plenty of wood. Let's see, grab some sticks. We have the kelp, we have the apricorn. What was the last thing we need? Some dye. Okay, the dye can be easily acquired. Do I have bone meal? Let's see. Nope. I guess we can make some bone meal just so that, or we could use this guy. Go like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, never mind. Needs a specific pattern. And just like that, we have the rubber stamped lid, which basically you just put it on a deployer, and then whatever you throw that goes through will be stamped, which in our case, we either need some copper or iron, depending on what we are producing. As you can see, they all work. So if we look at the copper, and we go over here, we just press it with the hammer, and it turns into the copper ball base, which then if we put it underneath the deployer, and oh, ancient ball, interesting. But yeah, if we put it underneath the deployer, when it gets stamped with some copper, a shaft, and another base, you technically get the ball, to which then all we have to do is put some deployers and have it get clicked on by whatever color you are making. But yeah, it's just like that, we are basically almost there. Another step towards what we want. So if we actually mine this guy, let's see, we don't really need it going this fast, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, this speed is probably pretty good. So we'll just be tapping off this guy in hopes that this will work without being overstressed. So first step is probably getting these apricorns cut. So we are going to want them to get cut with the saw. And let's actually grab our gearboxes, and I forgot to make some shafts. Whoops, that's not bad, but not too hard since we have plenty. So we'll go like this. Then I guess making a hammer or wrench would be smart. So what is it, 2 gold for a wrench? So we go 1, 2, come on. 1, 2, grab you. We have cogs, we have stick. Let's just type wrench real quick. Then, whoops, click on this guy. Oh, we need another one. Okay, what about goggles? How do we make the goggles? To make the goggles, interesting. Just wanted to look at that real quick. Okay, so that's another gold. So that's 2 more gold. Okay. And then once we have this down, or done, we should be able to see how much stress these machines are using and be able to change how they are configured. So let's grab some glass. Okay, I knew I had glass. I remember that. So we click here. Come on, man. Whoa! Good job, Lechon. Hell yeah. Let's see. Okay, he's doing good, he's doing good. We don't need to step in just yet. We'll do that. Boom. And then we'll go wrench. Click on this. Do that. Boom. Okay, it looks like Lechonk did his job and took care of him, which is huge just because that actually allows us to not get bad omen. So that's really nice, especially since I kind of am not very geared for a raid right now. So Lechonk, you are amazing. Let's get you a berry real quick. Oh, this guy. And where's my berries? Boom. Oh, never mind. I have it here. Let's just go. Boop, boop, boop. And Chonky. Here you go, Chonk. Honestly, he might not be the strongest dude, but I just love his design. Him and Tepig and any other pig looking dude. I love it. I love it. I cannot lie. Okay, so we'll put this on. So then we can actually see the stress values of these machines. And then click that. Toss this up here. And then let's get this planned out. So we do this. Boom. Got the belts, we got the shafts, we got the gearboxes. Alright, let's see what we can do. Just because I'm not gonna actually configure this to be like an actual production farm. If anything, I just want it set so that I could go from here to like here to here. Yes, I'm gonna have to throw the things on, but at least it's actually doing the job. So I'm pretty sure the first thing that we actually need to do is probably put a little gearbox here, and then we'll put a shaft here. Let's see. I could put another gearbox right here, honestly. And then we could see how these fans work. So it's pushing, and then you. I think you're not going to be doing the job I want you to. So let's actually pick these guys up real quick just because they are in the way. And I don't know if they'll take damage since they may not know what's going on. So we do this. This is pulling. So let's do this, pick you up. What if we put you on the side like this? Oops. Okay, right here. Okay, looks like he's pulling still. So if we do this, looks like we'll need another gearbox, or I could save myself on gearboxes and do something like this. So we go cogwheel, case. Okay, that is not the one we want. So we pick this up and go off the side, pick you up, toss you there. That should push. And then if we do this twice over one more time, but this guy, you should also push. And that's perfect. Why is that perfect, you may ask? Well, now we can actually put the liquids here and limit them from doing excess damage or whatever the case may be. So right here, we can put some sort of pressure plate. Let me actually cook up some stone. I'm unsure if I have any. So if we come over here, let's see. Yeah, let's just get 16 cooking. Might not need that much, but can be useful. So we are going to need one to cook, and we are going to need one to wash. The reason being is if you want to make different colored balls, you are going to need these blank ball lids, and then of course any apricorn can be turned into the lid itself. But to make the blank version, you are going to need to cook whatever excess of color it is into this. So that's a little tidbit there. That's why we need to cook. And then as for the red one, say you just want to use it, you can just cut an apricorn in half, toss it in, and then it'll get washed, and then you'll get some dye and the color lid. So you will need one for washing, and you will need one for cooking. So that's going to be the two. That's the reason why I have this here. And then I did want to put the mechanical saw over here. And let's see. Nope, nope. Come on, buddy. Nope. You are annoying. So let's do this. Cool. Just because... Interesting. Oh, there we go. This guy's spinning it. I was trying to figure out how that's working, but that's my new. And looks like this guy is cutting. I don't know in what direction. I think... Okay, it's going this way, so the stuff will pop out right there. That might be a little annoying. Let's see. What can we cook? Or cut? Toss you? Oh, never mind. If you toss it on, it'll get launched right here. Okay, perfect. I like that. Can I cut it again? Oh. And it gives us 6. You know? I kind of forget Create can do that. And I like it. I like it. Cool, so we can just toss that there. Cool, so now we have our cut, or our wash, and our cooking. And then we could also use it to actually cook other stuff in mass. So that's going to be massive as well. So we do this. So we'll put water and then we'll put lava, or vice versa. I think lava would be smarter over here and then water right here. But boom, just like that, we managed to get the little the cutting and the cooking and the washing. So that's one part done. So after you cut the stuff, but wait, let's take this slow. So we are going to need 2 deployers together, and then we're going to need a set of 3. That's 5. And then over here we are going to need 1 more deployer. This one is, hold up. Okay, so we're going to need a hammer to smash the little lid. Wait. Okay. Will it use the stamp to make this? That's my question. Okay, let's find this out. Okay, so we are probably going to need 2 verticals, just like this. And then it's going to be something like that. And then, let's see, if we do here, it's going to need a block and then placed here. Okay, I believe I could do something like this actually. Just because here is where we're going to need to bring this out. Let's see, if I bring it this way. Let's see, how do I actually want to configure this? So let's do one like this, then we do something like this. Boom. Reason being is now I could actually bring this out like that to check something out. Okay. So if we do something like this, we grab the belts, put it like that. You know what? Let me turn off shaders. I think shaders and then with create is causing all this issue. Sadly, I don't like to do this, but gotta do it so it doesn't cause issues like that. And then if we put the deployer like this, let's put the lid right here. This is just to test this out. And then we could put the hammer right next to it. Oh, are you redacting? Boom. That's nice. Okay, cool. So we're gonna need something like this. We could use a belt to connect them. And then right here, we could put a gearbox, and then this will start working. Okay. This is all to test and see what actually happens. Hopefully it does not use that rubber stamp. However, if it does, then we are going to need more resources than I actually thought. Sadly, but let's find out. Okay. So let's go back to the beginning. Click here, click there, click here. So we're gonna need a stamp, a copper nugget, or let's come over here and click this because this is technically the real recipe. So copper nugget stamped with this, and then once we have that, this gets pressed. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, sweet. So it'll automatically keep doing it. Nice. And then, how I said, this is a pretty good speed. So it's nothing too overbearing. And it's nice because then it kind of saves us on all the stress. So yeah, something like this is pretty neat. So this is how we get these, what is it? The bases. So then from the base to the next step, which we are going to be making the normal balls for right now. Maybe we'll get into ancient later, but we are going to need a triple set. So let's see, we can grab these guys, and then we could actually pick this up just because this is not how I actually want it. Or maybe it is, because then I could actually configure this slightly different. So let's pick that up and pick you up. And then, where is it? Deployer will go like this. And then right here, we'll go like that. So now we could toss it here, and then it'll go that way after a quick little about like this. Let's see. Doesn't really matter how this moves. If I do this, cool. The reason why I did that is just so I could put this cogwheel like that. Ah, so that is not moving the direction I want it. Okay, so we pick this guy up. We'll pick you up. Put a normal shaft. Let's see. That's not the way we want it to move. We want it normal. But I don't want to use multiple gearboxes to get this moving properly. So, let's see. This does need to be vertical, sadly. So, let's put a normal gearbox. Kind of be a little resourceful. So we put this. Now it's moving the proper direction. So, let's see. We're going to need it to be stamped and made into a base. And then from the base, we're going to need triple deployer into this. And then technically double that. So I guess we could leave a little gap here. And then we could do something like this. Why this? Because then we could do another triple set for the deployer. 1, 2, 3. And then we could just bring it off the same feed for the belts. So if we come over here, all we have to do is put that like this, pick this guy up, make sure both of them are connected like such, and then we can bring it from back here over here. So we now use only one belt. However, they are all working as they should. And then here, this is going to look a little ugly, but we could use another belt just to transfer the power and have it rotating in the same direction. So we could throw our copper nuggets here. Let's take a quick nap. And then the nuggets, as you saw before, will get hit with the little stamp, so then it will be stamped, and then we press it, and then it will be turned into the base, and then it will drop right here onto the floor. So then we can actually pick it up, and then actually manually set it so, oh, we want some here and then some over here to actually craft the ball. And then we could put the other materials right here, because I think one's a shaft and what is the other one? Another nugget. So then we put a nugget, a shaft, and then the ball, and then boom, it'll make the baseball toss. So right there, to which all we really need to do is have another double deployer, and then we could configure that however we want. So what I can do is actually just bring it off the back over here. This may look a little ugly, and for some of you, sorry, but this just looks the most appropriate right now. And the cobblestone adds a little bit of variation to this, so I'm liking it, I'm liking it. So then we go here, and then I guess we could do something like this, just to have the triples going, and then we could do this again, and just like that, we have all the power brought over, and then same thing as before, all we have to do is go 1, 2, actually let's bring you over 1 this way, just so I could toss the stuff here, and then it'll actually get processed right there. And then it will get tossed right here. So, just like that, this should be the working little production facility for our Pokeballs. So then we'll click here, and then we come all the way over here, click that, and just like that, we have our little production line. So let's actually run this all together and see how it all works. Sadly, we are going to need some shafts, and thankfully, andesite alloy will be easy to acquire, just because, fortunately, if we go over there, there's like a huge little ravine, not even little, huge little oxymoron, but there's a huge crevice, and inside I have like 2 huge deposits of pure andesite, not to mention there's also like another crevice that leads somewhere else that has another huge pocket. And then I believe down here somewhere in one of the caves, it's like another huge pocket of andesite. And then worst case scenario, I might these guys that's around. And then we could always produce it. So that's of no concern, especially since we have tons of iron being produced. Yeah. Okay, so let's grab ourselves some copper. We'll see, we have some base, we have some shafts. We're gonna need to make a couple nuggets. Let's see, you, perfect. let's see, besides that, we are going to need a bucket of lava and a bucket of water. So we'll grab one of you, two of you. Let's go get that stuff. Whoa, what are you doing here? Goodbye. Yeah. So once we grab this lava, we could put that down, grab some apricorns, and give this whole process a quick shot and see how it works. And yeah, well, just like that, we'll start producing our own Pokeballs, which is going to be huge. Because then we can actually just keep running around and throwing it at people and see how many we collect. And then apparently there's a proper way of using the Pokédex, so I kind of want to figure out how to use that correctly. Ooh. Hell yeah. What is this? Used to change Pokemon Terra type to normal type. Interesting. I think that's the second one I've gotten. And looks like it's more of a rare drop, just because it's not consistent every time you slay one of those guys. Which is interesting, but I don't really care. Ooh, bananas. Oh no, berries. Pineapples, whatever they're called. But yeah, I also need to expand the farms and actually segregate them and then have some where they actually are trying to mix to produce some new berries. I am not sure how many different berry types there are, but I'm fairly confident in the fact that I believe I have most to every single type of berry that's available right now. So then I could actually start planting them in different areas and whatnot. And since we are in a relatively flat area, I think I could get some pretty sizable farms going on pretty soon. Let's see. Let's open up a little bit more room. We got our washer, we got cooker. Let's come over here. I think white should just be used for the base, honestly. But we could always just check out the Pokeballs. Come on. Don't be annoying. At cobblemon. MON. And then we'll come over here. I'm pretty sure these are all of them that are available. So then we can actually look. Premier Ball. Is that just a white one? Interesting. But white doesn't have special abilities, special effects. Okay, so then we can make some great balls, I believe. Some ultra balls. That's probably the best one to make, actually. Take a quick look. So to make one of these, always requires a brass ball. Okay, why does it keep going back to the beginning? Okay, let's see. What about the ultra or the great? Great is iron, so then I'm guessing it's just iron instead of copper. And then here, double apricot, and then a blue ball lid. So I did get some blue apricorn seeds. So it looks like I'll plant those. We might have to wait a little bit to actually start producing those, but that's not an issue. I know the friend ball. Okay, that's also iron. Okay, which honestly, we will most likely be making anybody that's made out of iron, just because, yeah, it does require a little bit more work, but it looks like the payout is better with the catches and whatnot, so looks like right now we'll most likely be producing some Verdant and Roseate. And then once we have quite a few of those, we will switch over to the iron-based ones, just because, yeah, it's the same thing, just using iron or zinc. Interesting. Yeah, iron or zinc. Not bad. Okay, enough waiting. Let's actually check this out. Let's grab some white apricorns, and then let's see, what else? Verdant? I guess we could swap between these two, so let's get a couple of these, and then a couple of these. Sweet, just like that. We have a little bit of everything. I guess we'll cut it into halves, just to save a little bit on time. So if we go like this, that will start cutting it. Boom. Sweet. We get the half, to which here we're going to put the lava. This one we're putting the water. So if we actually come get this, we can actually toss it. But first, let's see, who needs to level up? This guy? 21? You're a little strong. What about you? 32, you're gonna mess up my boy. Can't do that. What about you? 16? You know what? I believe in my Sandshrew. Come on. You got this, buddy. Hit him with magnitude. Come on. Oh, we missed. Come on, you got this. Hit him. Clubbed itself? What? Okay, what about this? This says extremely effective. Oh, yeah. Do that again. Okay. Sweet. Let's see, what does he drop? Good job. Got some XP. Doesn't really drop anything. Sag. Okay, let's get out of here real quick. And come back this way. Not bad. Get him to level 15 and then probably fight some trainers. Okay, let's toss some of these right there. I know I grabbed a lot more, however, I just want to do this real quick. So we'll get some of it done. But yeah, if we come right here and toss these. Whoa, I don't know if you're gonna fall in that. Don't need that happening. But if we toss it there, those guys will get washed and should turn into lids. Let's grab these. Let's toss these guys here. Let's see. How's it looking? Oh, there we go. So we get some dye. That's nice. And then we get some Pokemon lids. That's massive. And then these are... Oh, wait. I should probably toss these guys here so they could get worked on while these guys get cut up. And then we should be able to grab that, and that'll be nice. Cool, 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 cool. Let's see. Are they done? Oh, they are. Sweet. That's pretty fast. That's pretty fast. Cannot lie. There we go. Grab all these. And then when we toss them here, these will get washed. And then these are going to be the ones that we want to cook. Just because I don't really care about the Premier Ball. Doesn't look that cool. I kind of like the actual colors. I like it. So that's what we are going to aim for. What is this? Interesting. Interesting. I like it. That might actually be insanely helpful. They're done. Come over here. Let's toss. Ooh, gotta be careful. I don't want to delete these by accident. So we toss it at an angle. Those should cook. Get some dye. Would be cool if we could revert this to bone meal. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get some nuggets ready. So if we do this, cool. That's more than plenty. And let's actually get this working. So we toss you here, toss you there. Oh, let's do this. Kind of forgot about that. Yeah, this will automatically do that, and then it'll just toss it on the ground so we can pick it up in a moment. And I don't know if they are done cooking, but let's check. Boom. Yep. Sweet. So we actually got all the blanks. Cool. So we come back over here. Blanks are going to need to be used at the very end. And then since we are going to make different colors, let's start with the green ones first, and then we'll swap over. Over here in the triple, we need the nuggets here. So let's actually grab this. And then where's the copper? I did make like a stack. So let's do something like this. We'll do stack here. Here we're gonna need the shafts. Let's just make a couple of these guys real quick. Go shafts. And then here is where we're gonna put the bases. So let's grab this, see how many we have. Let's see, can't really see the number that's there. So all we can do is kind of wait for that to happen. In the meantime, let's take another nap before the zombies and skeletons pick up on where we are. And then for next episode, just because it looks like it would probably be a pretty good spot to end it right here, I think I might just work on Ars Nouveau. I think that's a pretty solid point to work on, and maybe a little bit of steel production. Just because if we do come over here to Ars, we can make the storage lectern. Where is it? I swear I know what it looks like. I swear I do. See, can I see? Yep. We can make the storage lectern, which if it's like before, all we need to do is make some bookworms and then connect the lectern to the bookworms to the chest, and then we should be able to use it. However, I will still make the little warn document just to ensure I am playing it correctly. Okay, so boom, that's all of the bases. If we do this, we can make 41. That's more than plenty. So what we can do is put 41 here, and then we toss the other 41 on that, and then this will automatically start stamping it. As you can see, we get the balls over here, so we can wait a little bit. Let's see. Is this the actual document? Yeah, this is the documentation. So leather or a book and a piece of lapis. So we come over here. Do we not have any books yet? Looks like we don't. Okay. Let's grab some of this. Grab one of you. I don't even know what drops leather. I don't think we get normal vanilla spawns, so that's going to be a little annoying. So let's do that, and let's get ourselves back over here. Boom. And then we could toss these copper balls right here, and just like that, they'll start getting produced. Let's actually pick this up real quick. Green ball. Boom. Cool. Sweet. We got 6. That means there should be 8 more in this area. So we'll do that. Let's see. We made 14 of each, so we'll do this. Grab the pink, put the pink here, toss the other balls there. Boom. Okay. Then we do something like this, and then we actually have the documentation. Cool. So then, where is it? Not here. Let's come back. Is it over here? Crafting and automation. Let's see. Where is the storage? Storage. Boom. Storage lectern. Cool. So can be used. Uses bookworms. Uses the minions to set it. Inventories can be 30 blocks away. They get automatically placed. And cool. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that they didn't really change. Hold up. Linked inventories that are named will create tabs in the storage lectern, allowing you to view and manipulate all inventories that share a name. Unlike normal chests, repositories will preserve their name when dropped. The name effect can also name inventories placed in the world. Okay. So repositories do something, but I don't really know exactly how important they are. Let's see, one of these guys can store a double chest. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see. When named, it will display as a tooltip. Preserve it when dropped as an item. Useful for creating named tabs. So it would be cool for Pokemon, because then we could technically say Cobblemon 1, Cobblemon 2, and but then I don't think it'll automatically sort those things. Hold up. Catalog can be viewed as a proxy for a chain of connected repositories and respects filter scrolls on repositories when inserting items. Oh, so if we make a repository and some repository catalogs as well as some filters, we should be able to say only Cobblemon stuff in here and here. So then whenever we look at it, we could also go to the tabs and automatically see it, and it's already filtered. That could be the move, honestly. That's pretty cool. Look at that. We still have some copper balls, and I guess I'll just keep making some rose ones. So to do that, we are going to need more of these. Let's see. Yep, we're going to need a little bit of both. So that is 13. That means we need 7. So we'll toss these guys here. Have that get cut. You can go over here. We are also going to need 7 of you. And then we will have an extra. But yeah, just like that. It's that easy to start producing your own Pokeballs this early in the game. I know I said I was going to do it last episode. However, I got a little caught up in trying to advance and whatnot, and I had a lot of fun doing that. So, this episode, hopefully, I made it up to you guys and showed you guys basically how easy it truly is. Just 5 large wheels, 2 fans, a saw, and technically only 6 deployers. I thought I needed 7, but you only need 6. Then, as long as you have a few gearboxes, a hammer or mechanical press, and then mechanical belts and shafts, this is how easy you can get it. And it's basically all on one line, which is massive. Honestly, I did not expect that. So, yeah. Hopefully, if you guys were struggling on getting Pokeballs just because structures were not generating, like in my world, how it just felt like there was no structures compared to my creative world where it was just everywhere. It does feel completely different because here it feels like I'm actually working for everything compared to that creative world where, I mean, it's creative, so you already have everything, but at the same time, it was just so much easier to loop things compared to here. But yeah. Hopefully, this gives you guys a small little guide as to what you can do. And then, as I said, the trainer card is the way to progress. Just choose the first series, make sure it's here, click this check mark. You can actually see everybody you fight against. And then, if you're looking for the next person that you need to go against, just click on this crazy squiggle. It will tell you the name. You look for them, tells you how your level cap can increase. And then if you're unsure which biomes they spawn, click right here, and then you should be able to find them, which is highly, highly useful and highly recommended. So let's actually do this real quick. Go you, and then I'll toss the 13 here. And then I just wanted to check how to use this Pokédex, go over it with you guys, and then we'll wrap it up there. Let's see, where did I put this? Okay, here, nope, that's the Pokepedia. I always do that. So, oh, you hold the right click. Okay. I was unsure as to if I was using it wrong or not. So, let's see. What? Okay, you're a trainer. Geodude. So if I aim on him, it just tells me the level and his name? Okay. I mean, it's... I do... I thought it would do something else. Hold up. If I aim on you? Ah, so it does unlock. Okay. So if I aim on this guy, it says Marie. What about you? What are you? It says Lillipup. Technically, you already know the name and the level. It's just... Oh, okay, never mind. So if you fight it, you know. So did I click on one of them already? Interesting. Cool. Cool. Okay, now I know how this works. Okay, so it does look like I tried fighting some of these guys and may have lost or may have won. I don't even remember. But yeah, as long as you have the Pokédex and you hold the right click, you get this little scan feature, and if you have not identified them, give it a little bit and it'll automatically identify it and give you the level. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, as you can see, we are slowly progressing in our Cobblemon journey. Finally being able to catch more is going to be really cool. I guess it would be wise of me to make the PC and the other one. So the PC, oh, that's super easy. Let's check the other one. What is it? Revive? I know it uses one of these, so if we press U. Okay, healing machine. Also very easy. I'm pretty sure I got one of these from something. I don't even remember from what. Let's double check. Let's see. Yeah, we have 2 of them. So we can automatically make 2 of those chargers. And that's going to be super nice just because sometimes you might fight one of these dudes and it'll knock out 3 to 4 of your pals. And who knows, maybe you actually want to switch out your team. Just because right now I like it. However, I have a feeling that I am going to want to swap these guys out for different Pokemon that might be a little bit better and stronger and have better abilities. So that's going to be something. But as it's becoming nighttime, I think this is pretty cool. So, a quick recap is this episode. I showed you guys an alternative way of producing brass so that you can actually make your deployers, so that you can make your own create setup to start producing your own Pokeballs. Of course, if you want to make different variants of them, I highly recommend looking up how to make it. So just come over here, put at cobble, and then whenever you click on these guys, it'll tell you. Looks like brass is going to be a huge component when making some of these guys. As you can see, some of these are going to require quite a bit of resources depending on what variants you go for. However, as long as you have the resources, it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy day for you. And if you have made that iron farm that I made earlier, then honestly, you should probably stop making these normal ones and start making a couple of these different variants just because it looks like these guys can probably help you do way better, especially the friend ball. I don't know about you guys, but it does take quite a while to increase the friendship when you just leave your guys out and give them a soothe bell. So being able to catch them with basically 50% of the full friendship seems like a really good idea, especially since it's just iron. And then to make this guy, it looks like any type of red dye and a yellow apricorn to make this seems pretty easy. Seems like a really good idea and a worthwhile investment. So, what I will do in the off time is find a way to make the storage lectern and get everything ready so that when we reconvene, we can do it together. What the heck are you? Are you a dog? What? But he's also high level, so I don't want to mess with him. I don't know if apotheosis stats also alter these guys, just because higher level do hurt a little bit when they smack you. So I'm not sure as to uh, determine how much damage these guys will do. Is it just normal damage, or are they affected by apotheosis and can really mess me up? Yeah, next episode, look forward to it. We are going to get into Ars Nouveau, use that guy to help us get a little bit of a sorted area, and then, is that a diamond sword? What the? That's insane. That's insane. But that's really nice. If I could actually combine these two in an anvil, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. But yeah, looks like our luck is a little crazy. But as I was saying, we'll get into ours. We'll make that storage lectern next episode. Maybe get a little bit more into it. Maybe make some armor, create some spells, and yeah, maybe actually start diving into the energy portion of this game to see what we can use to actually start progressing towards the AlltheMods star, just because I have yet to do absolutely anything to make any sort of progress towards this guy, just because I'm trying to enjoy my experience with cobblemon. But for that, guys, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, make sure to hit that like button. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, tips, or tricks, or any advice in regards to this mod pack, I would greatly appreciate it if you let me know down below. If you guys understand cobblemon to a pretty high degree, I highly recommend you just writing a huge post as to what you think would benefit me and help me down below. I will do my best to get to it and read it and use it to improve, just because I am enjoying it and would like to actually progress further and faster than I am currently. And if you guys are enjoying the series and would like to follow along, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I will do my best to get these videos up and out to you guys. However, as I said before, school has started. My classes are not that easy. I do have tons of homework, and I'm doing my best to get that stuff all done and dealt with so that I can actually record and pre-record a few of these episodes and then hopefully edit and upload them as soon as possible. But at least you guys will get one a week. If you guys get more than that, then that means I am doing pretty good, keeping my word to you guys. I am getting as many out as possible. But yeah, with that, guys, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, peace.